Welcome back, guys, to another video on the channel. In today's West Ham video, I want to talk about Issa Diop. I want to talk about whether Issa Diop has a long-term future at the club. But before we get into that, guys, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you support West Ham. Haven't considered subscribing, make sure you do that. We're very close to 2,000 subscribers. Hit the like button, that would be greatly appreciated. Let's talk Issa Diop and whether I believe that he has a long-term future at this football club. Guys, let me know in the comment section down below what you believe regarding Issa Diop. Do you think he should leave in January? There has been reports him leaving. Let's see what happens, but let's give my opinion on it. So Issa Diop, he was one of the first players signed under Manuel Pellegrini when he come into the football club. And Issa Diop was a signing of intent, a statement of intent from Manuel Pellegrini and from the West Ham board, I feel like. And the reason why I say that is because we've seen over the years that West Ham tend to spend money on forward players. Andre Ayew, 20 million. Arnautovic, 20 million. We've never really spent 20 million on a centre-back or a defender. We've spoke how long, the amount of years, how we needed investment for a right-back or a left-back and investment on a centre-back. The last time I feel like we spent proper money was probably Jose Fonte, which was about 6 million. Ogbonna was about 8 million, 9 million. So this was the first time in a hell of a long time that we've actually spent a lot of money on a defender. 21 million pounds, whatever the fee is. And that is huge for West Ham. As I said, we haven't really spent that kind of money on a defender. And he was supposed to be the next biggest thing in terms of coming out of France. There's a lot of reports talking about how they expected him to sort of go into the Premier League, have a good season, have a couple of good seasons, and then maybe knock on the door for the French national team. He was from Toulouse. He played for Toulouse in Ligue 1. He was captain, and he also was the under-21 French captain, I'm sure, or at least played a lot of games for that French under-21. So he was in that French national system, and it hasn't really worked out. I wouldn't call Issa Diop a flop because I feel like he's far from it. He's still got a lot to prove, I feel like. But I wouldn't call him as a flop because I just feel like he's been very inconsistent. And, we signed Balbuena in the same season, and that was the preferred partnership for long parts of that season. Balbuena and Issa Diop were the main two, with Ogbonna being the one that actually dropped to the bench. Now it's Ogbonna, and it looks like Craig Dawson, and it does look like that Issa Diop is now fourth choice centre-back at West Ham, behind Ogbonna, behind Balbuena, behind Craig Dawson. So it does look like he is really, really low at the pecking order. And I think the reasons why he is fourth in the pecking order is, let's talk about his cons as a defender. Let's talk about his cons. Firstly, I think he's a big physical specimen. He's very, very tall, but he doesn't use it that well. He's someone that I feel like when they're playing in defence, they can get at. When we played Fulham, he was in that game. It was his first game since, unfortunately, getting COVID. It was his first game back. And whilst I understand match sharpness, you saw many times that Mitrovic, he would peel off to Diop instead of going to Ogbonna because he knew deep down, he was like, you know what, I've got a chance against Issa Diop. Issa Diop, whilst I think he is a physical specimen, he lacks sort of the aerial ability in order to be, to stamp his authority in the air. And authority is something that I use quite a lot on this channel in terms of the wording. And I do feel like Diop does lack it in terms of being good in the air. I feel like his concentration can be a little bit, he hasn't got the great concentration for a centre-back. And, but there's been elements of his game that we've seen over the 2 years he's been there. Manchester United at home. We remember Jose Mourinho comes out and goes, whoever that scout was that picked up Issa Diop, what an absolute beast. He was absolutely phenomenal in that game against Lukaku. And Lukaku is not an easy player to mark. Someone who's physically strong, very, very quick. And Diop had him in his pocket. It was a game that we ended up winning 3-1. I think Felipe Anderson scored his first goal for West Ham with that nice back heel. It's probably a game that a lot of people remember. And then Tottenham away. The first time we played Tottenham at their new stadium, we won 1-0 with a Mikel Antonio goal. Issa Diop was absolutely fantastic again. And then, he's one of those players that whilst he has been inconsistent, he's very raw. We've got to remember, guys, he's only 22, 23 years of age. He's got a lot of potential, and I think it is potential. Now, what I've seen from centre-backs, because he has been linked with a move away, there's rumours that maybe Sam Allardyce might come in from West Brom, but the most recent rumours is Nice from France. Now, am I completely against a loan move? No, because the reason why I believe that, Dawson and Balbuena, whilst I don't actually think they're probably, they could be better defenders. I feel like Diop, if he reaches his potential, he probably is the best defender at the club. And I think Ogbonna, or as good as Ogbonna, maybe not the best, but as good as Ogbonna anyway. But he's certainly better than probably Craig Dawson and Balbuena. But what they do best and what Diop doesn't do best is that physicality, is that authority, is, you know, being able to go, you know, man to man with a striker. And, you know, whilst the striker's backing into him, he can push him away and show that little bit of aggression. And I feel like Diop needs to learn that. And as I said, I'm not totally against the loan move, but it has to be the right loan move for West Ham, and it has to be the right loan move for Diop. Now, in terms of linking him with West Brom, I wouldn't like him to go to West Brom. I feel like Big Sam is taking on a job that I think is too much for him. I do believe that West Brom will go down, and that's not exactly, you know, it's not exactly what I'm saying is out of the ordinary, right? It's not an unpopular opinion. You can just tell by the amount of goals they're conceding since Sam Allardyce has come in, and he's supposed to be the man that shores it up. So if Issa Diop goes to someone like West Brom, if he plays in a team that is consistently losing games, consistently conceding goals, is that going to be the right move for Issa Diop? For me, personally, no. What I would like to see him is maybe go to Leeds. Now, Leeds are similar in terms of where we are right now on the table. We're 3 points ahead of him. But the reason why I say Leeds is because, one, I feel like, as I said, I feel like his composure needs to improve. Now, Marcelo Bielsa will probably bring or try and improve that anyway. He demands his defenders to play out from the back. And whilst I know Leeds have got quite a few injuries in defence, it wouldn't be the bad move for him. Another team, for example, Newcastle, it would be nice if he actually stayed in the Premier League to try and get that match experience, because we know how different these foreign leagues compared to England. You've only got to look at Havertz and Werner and all these Bundesliga players that have come over, or Haller for us, for example, have come over from another league, done very well, and then struggled to adapt. So preferably, I would like him to see him get some more first-team experience in the Premier League. Now, I'm not completely objective him going out on loan to Nice, especially if he plays first-team football. They're a very, very decent team in France, and it wouldn't be the worst. But I would like to see some experience. Now, the reason why I am completely against selling him, guys, is defenders are one of those positions where you get better with age. You get better with age. You've only got to look at Van Dijk, for example. You know, he was 27, 26 years of age when he finally got that big move from Southampton to Liverpool. And his game went from here to up here. He was already decent at Southampton, but now he's already elevated his game. We've seen with Angelo Ogbonna, right? Angelo Ogbonna, what he's done for us. He came at West Ham in 2015. You know, he was decent, but he's also been someone. There's been periods throughout his West Ham career where he has been fairly inconsistent. But the last 18 months for West Ham, and especially this season, he's been absolutely phenomenal. Now, the common ground that I'm seeing with these kind of defenders is that you're maturing with age in terms of, mentally. And I feel like being a defender, a lot of it is being experienced and being mentally knowing where the ball's going to go, anticipating where the cross is going, anticipating where you need to position yourselves in order to give you the best possible chance at denying a fellow striker. And I feel like Diop has got, that whilst he's got that potential, he doesn't have the match experience. Yes, he's played a lot of games in the Premier League, but he's still only 22, 23 years of age. He's still a young player in terms of being a defender. You look at all the top defenders in this country. Okay, Thiago Silva, right? And I'm not comparing, Diop to Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva's been there. He's done it for PSG, AC Milan. He's won trophies pretty much wherever he's been. Brazilian captain, national team captain. But he's 35 years of age and he's doing a job in the Premier League. Now, again, it's not having, it's not Thiago Silva not having the physicality to deal with it, but it's what you know mentally. What you know mentally. John Terry, as well, as another prime example. John Terry was, he prolonged his career because mentally he knew where to position himself to make up for the lack of pace and maybe the lack of strength of his body as his body deteriorated whilst he was getting older. And I do feel like, and I'm not saying let's wait 7 years for Diop to turn 30 years of age until he actually finally becomes good. But right now, I would keep him because I do feel like maybe someone like Jose Mourinho or maybe another club may see, Diop as someone that we bought as potential as well. That's why we paid 21 million. He's got good, recommendations. Like, as I said, Mourinho really seems to like him. And I can see maybe Mourinho or someone who's seen that he's having a difficult time at West Ham, maybe exploit the fact that he's had a difficult time, try and get him for around about 18 to 19 million. And I think a lot of people, you know, we also talk about a lot on this channel and just as a general fan base, the appreciating value of some of our players, the amount of money that we've lost on Haller, on, you know, Felipe Anderson, Yarmolenko. We've lost a lot of money on these players who have come in and maybe not hit the heights that we hoped they would. But whilst I do think that Diop has maybe not hit the heights just yet, he's been a little bit inconsistent, but he's been one of the better signings under Pellegrini when he got brought into this football club. And I feel like because of his age and because of the fact that you are buying potential, and raw potential that is, that his value is probably stabilised. I don't think we'd lose too much money. We paid 21 million. I probably would expect that we would get 18 or something for him. But would I sell him for 18 million? I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't because I feel like if he's given more match experience, whether he goes out on loan to a Premier League club, which would be my, you know, preferred destination for him is a Premier League club, he could build on that match experience, get wiser, get more mature, knowing when to position himself. Because that's where I feel like he's a little bit lacklustre. We've seen it with a goal against Crystal Palace. He was a little bit more man-marking Benteke. And by the time he decided to man-mark Benteke already made that run towards the near post, got that half a yard and scored a header. But all of it is mainly mentally because he has got the physicality to probably do well in this league. He's very fast for a defender, for a centre-back. You don't really see many, you know, quick centre-backs. He's got the physicality, but he just needs to improve on that. He needs to improve on that, be better in the air, be more dominant, put your authority onto it. And then with the match experience, he will know when to position himself. He knows when to maybe close someone down, when to back off, when to shift over to cover a fullback. And whilst what I'm saying sounds like the basics of football, it does sound like the basics of football. To be a top centre-back, as I said, like your Van Dijks, like your John Terrys, your Thiago Silvas, it's knowing when to position yourselves or anticipating a cross to come in or anticipating a shot and you have to get over to help maybe a fellow fullback. For me, I wouldn't want to sell Issa Diop. Let me know in the comment section down below if you would sell Issa Diop. As I said, I wouldn't want to see him. I wouldn't want to sell him, shall I say. I do think, you know, if certain things are worked on, he could be a very, very good Premier League centre-back and someone that we would probably, in a couple of years, could maybe resell on for more if he decided... not if he decided, but if he got the game time and he did improve. So I wouldn't personally sell him. Let me know in the comment section down below if you would sell him. Again, as I said, I wouldn't. Guys, hit the subscribe button if you're new around here. We're very close to 2,000 subscribers. That would be very much appreciated. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Check my other West Ham content. We make generic West Ham content where I give my opinion. Make sure you give your opinion in the comment section down below. Catch you next time. See you later, guys.